Just a friendly reminder before we start today's video that I do have a Patreon, if you wish to support me of course, as well as a Gumroad for all your custom audio needs. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy this week's VOD, and I can't wait to hear from you all soon. I just have one last question for you, dear. If you could say anything to the people reading my book, what would you want to say? Anything else? Okay, that should do it. Thank you so much for the interview, sweetheart. This helps me a great deal. The more perspectives I can get, the better. Oh, nonsense. You don't have to repay me at all. I wanted to help you. Speaking of, how are those staircases I set up on the counters? Are they too high to climb, or do they work as intended? I'm glad to hear that, dear, especially after how long it took me to make them. These hands are not the type for handiwork, that's for sure. Is everything all right, darling? I'm asking because you don't look quite like yourself. I've seen you cheer up so much these past few weeks, but right now, your face looks sad. Almost the same as when I first found you out in the woods. Did one of my questions upset you? Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Come here. Let me make it up to you. Which question made you feel this way? I see. The ones about your family. You should have told me, sweetheart. I wouldn't have asked them if I knew that they would put you in such a state. Shh. It's okay. Don't worry. It's all over now. I'm terribly sorry for making you so upset, darling. It was never my intention. Is there anything I can do to cheer you up? You wish to talk about it? Alright, in that case, speak your mind. It's obvious those are very strong feelings. Don't worry, dear. I empathize with you. You have every right to feel those emotions after what you've been through. I know, sweetheart. It hurts, but the pain will heal with time. I do wish it could heal right away, but that's unfortunate. There's nothing that can speed up that process. Just take your time. Just take your time. Allow yourself to feel these emotions freely, and one day you'll feel much better. Darling, please trust me when I say this. You will be alright. The pain you feel right now will heal, and you will live a long, happy life. Of course. You can ask me anything. My family. No, I'm not upset, sweetheart. It's just that giant families are complicated, to say the least. My kind are obviously, well, giant, and because of that, we can't have too many living in the same area, or it will become starved of resources. So when two giants decide to start a family, it's much less connected than what you humans have. Usually the two parents will find a location to settle down in, wait for the baby's birth, and then one of them will leave. Yeah, I've heard it's a very heartbreaking part of the process, but that's simply how life works. Until we can somehow find enough resources to support 3 or more giants in the same area, our kind will stay quite distant from one another. It's for that same reason giants rarely ever have more than one child. At least, not at the same time. Even in the case of twins, each parent will take one baby. Most of those children will never meet their sibling. I guess this brings us to my story. I never met my father, and I was raised by my mother. She was the one who taught me everything I know. Cooking, cleaning, hunting, gathering, reading, writing, and so on. She was even where I gained my fondness for humans from. Oh, that story is not as interesting as it sounds. As a child, she befriended a traveling merchant, which led her to enjoy the company of humans. Then, when she was young, she taught me the stories of all the others she encountered over the years. Anyways, she was a very kind parent. I looked up to her a great deal back then. I really felt like I was being raised by a hero. Yeah, it was nice. I have very fond memories of those days. But you know, the saying, all good things must come to an end. Sweetheart, this part is a bit more difficult to talk about. Forgive me if I stutter at any point. When I was 10 years old, my mother said that she had taught me everything I needed to know in order to thrive in this world. She also said she had to leave. Darling, you remember when I said about exhausting all the resources in an area? Well, I was getting big enough at that point to cause a noticeable strain on the woodlands. One of us had to leave. And my mother decided to gift me the house and go off on her own. It's a normal process all giants have to go through, but neither of us were ready. We said our goodbyes. She kissed me on the cheek, and then she walked off. I haven't seen her since. Of course I was sad. I cried for hours. She left at midday, and by the time I stopped crying, the sun had set. No, I can't cry now. I don't want to soak you with my tears. You really don't mind? Thank you. I'm sorry. I told you that would happen. Here. I have a handkerchief in my pocket. Let me dry you off with it. Thank you for letting me do that, dear. I feel much better now. Yes, I did say that time heals all wounds, but rarely does it heal them fully. You'll always have small scars reminding you of those bad moments, but they become much easier to manage over time. I still care about my mother. I don't often tell others this, but after she left, I found a pile of letters in my room. They were each marked with an age. She wrote me birthday messages from ages 11 all the way up till 100. I know she wouldn't have stayed at my side if it were possible. Alas, life can be so cruel. I often find myself wondering if she's faring out there, or how she's faring out there. You're right. I imagine she's living her best life. She's always been a strong person. Which part has you all confused, dear? That's true. Giants are solitary. But that doesn't mean we don't form emotional connections. What I meant was, how do I explain this? Well, one human told me that when humans feel lonely, they get this craving for social interaction. Not for anyone in particular, but interaction with any humans. Us giants don't get that urge. We can live perfectly content lives all on our own. Even still, we form connections with those we enjoy spending time with and are upset when they can't be around them anymore. Does that make sense? Wonderful. Now, sweetheart, getting back on topic, I hope my story showed that I can relate in a way. We've obviously led very different experiences with our families, but we both understand how it feels to be separated from them. I suppose the main difference is that you still crave a family, don't you? I thought so, dear. I promise that you'll find one, or another one, someday. You don't understand? Let me put it this way then. One of my human friends was... what was the word they used? Oh, adopted. They told me about how as a child they were brought into another family and accepted as one of their own. And I know there's a family out there willing to adopt you as well. Only children are adopted? Well, the principle still applies, right? There's gotta be a family out there waiting to accept you with open arms. Then we'll find them together. Of course we will, darling. I'd be more than happy to take you on a visit to my human friends' villages. You can spend the day exploring the town, seeing all there is to see, and meeting new people. I know there will be others out there you'll connect with. We can start tomorrow if you like. Each individual trip will probably be about a days-long excursion, given that you'll be exploring, so it might take some time. But I guarantee it's worth it in the end. That sounds wonderful, dear. Now, what do you say about a nice dinner? I was thinking some wild boar stew. Perfect. I'll get started on that, and you get your little belly ready for something great. Thank you for watching, my dear. If you enjoyed your experience here, please feel free to like and subscribe. Any ideas you have for future content and roleplays, leave a comment down below. I'd love to know your thoughts. Take care, my dearling, and I hope to see you again real soon.